34 years ago, I saw your post as well. 34 years ago, you were Jerry Jones's first draft choice, weren't you? Right?
I was.
What was that?
It was interesting when I came out because my senior year at UCLA, I played in the Cotton Bowl here in Dallas. And so Tom Landry and Tex Schramm, they were at every practice. Gil Brandt was at every practice. So that was the old guard, as you know.
Yeah.
And then after that game, about a month later, Jerry Jones buys the Cowboys. And now all of a sudden, Gil was still involved, but yet, he was kind of taking a secondary role to some regards. And then I'm getting to know Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, who I've known Jimmy since I was 14 when I went to his football camp. He was recruiting me at Oklahoma State. And then I was drafted, number 1 overall. And it's crazy that it was 34 years ago. I'm thinking, man, I don't know where the years have gone. But yeah, it's something I'm very proud of. I'm proud to have been the number 1 overall pick. But I'm also proud to have been Jerry Jones's very first draft pick. That means a lot to me.
So there were no cell phones. Did he get on the phone to you, like in the green room, a landline in the green room or something like that, Troy?
No, great question, Rich.
Thank you.
Really great question. It was different then, as everything was.
Yes.
But back then, you only were in New York. The draft, of course, was in New York. You were only in New York if you were the number 1 overall pick and you were already signed. And so I signed 2 days before that draft.
Yeah.
I flew to New York. I was in New York. I was there. Stephen Jones and Charlotte Jones flew with me and my agent, Lee Steinberg.
Yeah.
We saw Phantom of the Opera the night before the draft. I walked out. That's the other part of the draft that means a lot to me was Pete Rozelle.
Yes.
That was his last year to preside over the NFL draft. He only did it for the first round, of course. And so I came out, first overall pick, took my picture with Pete Rozelle. And then Paul Tagliabue took over right after that as the commissioner of the league. So a different time. Now you've got, 30 players or however many it is that are in the green room, as you well know. Much different.
Was there any stickiness to the negotiation with Jerry? I mean, that's his first NFL negotiation was with you too.
Yeah, it was. And I will say this, that Lee Steinberg, who, the best there is and had negotiated a lot of big contracts, he marveled at how smart Jerry Jones was, and then a guy named Mike McCoy, who was also involved in the negotiations. For a guy who had never done an NFL contract, I mean, they were really smart. They've proven how smart they are. Of course, there's a reason why they were able to buy the Cowboys. Jerry Jones was. But yeah, at one time when I was asking Jerry, even then, before he had ever been the owner of a team for one game, was telling Steinberg that I should be willing to play for half the amount I would play for anywhere else because I was going to get to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Come on.
He was selling the Cowboys, and he threatened, if I didn't lower my asking price, he threatened that he was going to draft Tony Mandrich, the offensive tackle, who became a good friend of mine during the draft process.
Sure.
But then, that draft in itself was a great class, and proud to have been a part of that as well.
So you were not only Jones's first draft choice, you were his first NFL negotiation and his first threat as well towards a player.
And his first
in the NFL.
His first what? What was the last part?
Threatened you.
Oh, yeah.
You were the receiving. You were the receiving end of his first threat as an NFL owner as well.
For some reason, I'm not going to guarantee I was his first threat. The others, I would say yes, you're right. But
that's funny. That's funny. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.